I found in my dating journey that one of the reasons I was struggling early on was because I didn't really have a blueprint or a guide for like simple things. Like simple things like, hey, if you're at a movie theater and there's a girl next to you and you want to put your arm around her, what's the sequence for that? What's the easiest way I can do that to where it's going to be comfortable for her? You know, like that was a struggle I had as a teenager. And then getting into college, it was like, okay, how can I tell when they want me to make a move on them, when they want me to ask them out? And of course, how can I tell if the girl wants me to kiss her? Now, today, in today's climate, again, I'm not a young dater now. I have heard that consent is on the rise, meaning that there are more guys that are willing to ask a woman for consent about a kiss, and women don't seem to mind it. That's what I've heard. Now, you guys that are younger can let me know if that's true or not, because I don't know if that's true or not. But I still find to this day, more often than not, that most women, if they want to kiss you, they're not going to be the ones to make the most overt move. Like they're going to give hints and signs of things, and that's going to be their way to signal to you that it's time for a kiss. But what does that look like? That's the thing I can never figure out was like, what does that look like, you know? And granted, on this show, I've said, looking at movies, TV shows, those aren't the best avenues to try to get an idea about what women want in terms of relationships or what's going to actually work. Like guys give these, you know, grandiose speeches about love and we should be together and blah, 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 blah. And most of that doesn't work in real life, right? But the one thing I will say that media and Hollywood does get right is like the actresses know how to give off the kind of looks and body postures and glances that you as a guy need to be looking for that would be indicating that she would probably want to be kissed. Because even in this day and age, with women's lib, with women leading the charge, they are still looking for the guy to be able to just tell that they're ready to be kissed. Now, that's probably going to frustrate some of you guys that are like, but how am I supposed to know what that looks like? Because they're always saying this, doing this. So I found a video on TikTok where by this woman, her ring bell accidentally recorded the first time her and her now, I want to say either boyfriend or husband, got kissed, like where he kissed her, right? And so she was very happy that she got this on camera and put it on TikTok. And I'm happy she put it on camera because this video does a great job of being able to look at her and see where her movements are to give indications of how was she posturing herself? What kind of look was she giving? What was she doing to signal to this guy, hey, it's time for a kiss? And I think it's good for you to see that, guys, because for those of you that struggle like me, you may not be aware that when women are doing these things, these are the things that are supposed to signal to you, it's go time for a kiss. So let's go ahead and bring that up to the screen. Let's go up here. All right, so this is the video. So she says, I'm gonna stop along the way and read the parts. And the music you'll hear in this is from one of my songs because the music they have was copywritten. And so I own my songs. I can put my beds under this for my instrumentals. So you'll hear that, but we'll read along to what she's saying on the screen. Here we go. So the first thing says, I can't believe the camera captured our first kiss. So for those of you that are listening on the podcast, one, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Harry Wilmington, and subscribe so you can see these things live and see the videos that I show. Anyway, so it's her and her date, her date at the time, walking back to her place. So it says, we had matched on Hinge for a month straight. We could never get our schedules aligned, but we kept at it. So they're walking up to the house, to her house. And as you can see, they're holding hands and they're walking almost kind of slow as if they don't want the date to end, but they're just doing like a little leisurely walk, holding hands. Okay, so now they step up to the front porch. So at this point, for those of you guys that are watching this, you can see they are standing in front of each other, and now she's starting to talk to him a bit, and he's a little bit taller than her, so she's definitely looking up. She has like the biggest smile on her face, as if she feels so lucky that she was able to go out with this guy on a date. So the caption says, the first time we met, he also met 12 of my friends at once. Now, you guys know, I do not advise you guys trying to meet her friends so early on. This is an outlier situation, guys. This is not a thing that's going to happen all the time, okay? So I still say, do not try to be introducing each other to each other's friends on those first couple of dates. Just because it worked out here doesn't mean that it's going to work out for you. Again, this is an outlier. You do not lose points for not having her meet your friends early on, but you risk potentially losing points. In this guy's case, it didn't happen, so good for him, but just putting that out there. All right. They're talking, she's clapping, she said the sarcastic banter with the guy was chef's kiss, how lovely. No, she's just talking to him. Now look at this. So for guys that are watching, notice she's starting to adjust herself. She's adjusting her jacket up here a little bit while she's kind of pushing her boobs forward a little bit. So she's already doing what? She's preening herself. She's trying to, in the moment, like, okay, I got to look good for this guy. I got to make sure that he sees me in a positive light. When you start to see a woman like preening herself, that's like, adjusting her clothes, tilting her hat because she's wearing a hat in the video, maybe playing with the hair a little bit. These are all signs that she's trying to prime herself up for you and in hopes that you're going to judge her in a positive way. All right. He says, so the caption says, I was too scared to kiss him that night, though. So I'm glad she's putting these prompts here because here's the thing, guys. A lot of you guys, you'll go on dates and you're going to be thinking the whole time, okay, I want to kiss her, but I can't tell she's ready for a kiss. And she's not, saying, hey, it's cool for you to kiss me. So I don't know if I should make a move. But she's telling us right here in that moment, she wanted a kiss. She was desperate for it. She was not going to ever come out and say, hey, come and kiss me. She was not going to lean up against him and try to get a kiss. Why? Because if you think rejection is bad on our side, guys, rejection for women, it's like a atomic bomb goes off in their emotions. Like, because for us, it's like, it sucks. It hits at our ego because we want to be attracted or whatever. It hits at their feelings. If they, in their thought process, if they go for a kiss, and they get rejected, you're not just rejecting the kiss, you're rejecting her, you're rejecting the way that she is in life, you're saying she's disgusting, and that is a huge blow to a woman's ego. So instead of outright saying it to you, she's gonna preen herself, she's gonna get herself ready for you to be able to kiss her, as she's doing in this video clip. So you see also, she's standing, notice that she's standing and she's leaning a little bit forward. So she's leaning in as if she's saying, I'm ready for this kiss. I'm already going to prepare myself. I'm going to lean closer to him so my face is closer to his face in hopes that this is going to happen. Okay, she's wrapping up something he said. She says in the caption, it was cold outside, so he gave me his jacket. And so now he's touching her face. This is a good tester. So he's touching her face and neck a little bit. And that's a good tease to see, like, okay, when you do that, guys, what's her reaction? If you touch her on the face, is she repelling back or is she just kind of leaning into your hand? That's a really good way for you as a guy to start getting the idea of like, okay, I think this could be a kiss. I'm not too sure. Let me create this moment and see what happens. All right. So here we go. Now he's moving. He's touching her arm. So clearly, whatever they were doing on the date, they built up to where this kind of touch he knows is going to be perfectly acceptable. But he's just kind of slowly like rubbing her arm up and down while she's like, again, leaning into it and also kind of just looking at him almost like she's staring off into space, right? So she says, walked me to my car and hugged me by. So now they are, again, still talking. He's now grabbed her two hands. And so he's now grabbed her hand and he's pulled it up to kiss her hand as if to say bye. And notice she's not pulling the hand away. She's not rejecting him, but he's doing this because this is like, these are all teasers. So what has he done so far? He didn't go from like, I'm talking to her face to just going in for the kiss. What's he done? He looked at her. He held her face for a little bit first. He rubbed her arm and then he went and kissed her hand. Okay. So what he's doing is he's upping the ante. He's making her anticipate if the kiss on the lips is going to happen. Building up anticipation for women is very important because keep in mind, women typically work more like a dial. Guys are like on and off switches. It goes from like, I'm not horny to, oh, I'm horny. Women, the more you dial them up, the hotter they actually get for you. So this is actually a good thing that he's doing where it's like he went from, again, touching her face to rubbing her arm to now kissing her hand. And even then she's like, oh my God, is this going to lead to a kiss? Nothing's happening yet. So the hand, and then he holds her hand as he's walking off, and then he starts walking off, right? And then the caption says, and even in this clip, I was too scared to make a move. So again, she's like, I want to kiss this guy, but I'm afraid to make a move. Now, we get it, guys. We're like, we tell women all the time, like, we are pretty much ready for physicality at any given time. You want to kiss us, you want to jump our bones. As long as you say it's go, we are great to go. But why would a woman be so apprehensive? This goes to the idea that we project onto other people the things that we do or things that we think and feel, right? So because women are typically the ones that are like, well, I don't know if I want to kiss him yet, or I don't know him well enough, so I don't want him to make that move on me. They think that we're the same thought process. They're thinking, if I make a kiss on him and he doesn't want it, he's going to reject me. And most dudes are like, if you made the first move and kiss me, I'd be making out with you the rest of the night. Like, so you got to understand, they're coming from their perspective, which is, I wouldn't want a kiss that I wasn't ready for, so I don't want to do the same thing to him, all right? So this is another reason why women usually aren't going to just come out and say, hey, I want to kiss you, or just go for the kiss, right? They're going to look for these signals. They're going to look at you to see what moves you're making that are indicating that, oh, it's go time, all right? And so you as a guy got to know there's going to be some times, admittedly, where you're going to read the signals wrong. You're going to go for that kiss, and it's going to be the wrong time. But more often than not, the kind of signals that she's throwing are going to be great indicators. And then this guy did a great job of feeling up to, is this the right moment for a kiss? Do I think she's down for it? If so, then I know I got to make the move. If not, then I'm not going to, right? So he's walking off. She says in this clip, she was too scared to make a move. He's holding her hand, and then he walked off. She's standing there like, he says in the caption, I thought he was too scared to kiss me also, until he ran back and said, I missed. So, but in the clip, you see she's standing there looking off like, oh, I really wanted that kiss. Oh, why didn't it happen? She doesn't know at this point that he's about to turn around. So then this happens. Walking off, stops, runs back. He's leaning on the pole, grabs her face, and goes for the kiss. So this is a great example, actually, what we'll go into in a minute. But suffice to say, she was not thinking that kiss was going to happen. All hope was lost. He was walking away. And then he turns around and comes back and jokingly says, oh, sorry, I kissed your hand. I totally missed. And then goes in. He made it playful. He made it fun. He even when he pulled her in, he was pulling her in very, very slowly to make it like that Hollywood style kiss, So he did a great job at making the experience of that first kiss a very memorable one, on top of the fact that she also accidentally recorded it, which was also fantastic. So this is just to give you guys an idea of what we're going to talk about in a minute, which is creating an experience for women that's going to build up attraction for you and make them want to do the things that you want them to do. But for those of you that have been, lost about what is it that women do when they're ready to get a kiss, that's a perfect example. All the stuff she was doing in terms of how she was standing, how she was leaning, how she was looking at him, how she was kind of playing and swaying back and forth a little bit, grabbing his hand, like all these things were great signals. Now, caveat is this, guys. Obviously, if all that's happening and you go for the kiss and she rejects it, then, hey, you're not going to try to force a kiss on a woman that's saying she really doesn't want it. But also, that is a woman that is going to be in the maybe state and is wishy-washy. Do not continue to date her, because it's different if she said, if she wasn't giving all the signals and then didn't want the kiss, right? If she was just standing there, whatever, and then you go in for it, she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's different than, hey, she's stroking her hair and she's like leaning up and giving you those eyes, and then you go in and nothing. Now you're dealing with a woman that is potentially dangerous, and I say do not deal with her. But also, always, if they say no, it's a no. Don't go any further, all right? But hopefully that gives you guys that maybe we're lost in that, a better example of like what that looks like when a woman actually wants a kiss, all right?
You's a bad boy, but you can't stop, won't stop. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man. You a high class man. You a high class man. You a high earning, high value, high class man.